Hey guys, this is Matt Granger, that Nikon guy, back with Marie, and today we're doing part 2 of the 24-70 Showdown. In this part we're going to look at focusing ability. So I've got her set here. It's actually just gone behind the clouds, but the sun's really contrasty here with a strong backlight. So I'm going to test each of the lenses and see how they perform in that kind of condition. Then we'll go in and do it in an overcast area, and I'll do a more technical test at the end of the video. She's crazy. For the first one, I'm going to be using the Canon 24-70 2.8L lens on the 5D Mark II, and I'm just going to position it so we've got a really bright backlight against her. On both this and this D700, I'm using just a central focal point to try and eliminate any variations. So let's have a look. Going from her to the trees to the buildings in the background, no hesitation, it just nails it every time. And let's get a couple of shots just to make sure we're on track. Okay, so here we are with the Tamron 24-70 with VC. Let's pop the VC on and just see how it goes. And again, testing the autofocus. Focusing in, very fast, slightly slower than the Canon, but it does grab it, and you can really notice the vibration control as well. So yeah, that one's performing really well as well. Perhaps a little bit slower than the Canon though. Next up, using the D700, I've got the Sigma 2.8 24-70. Let's do exactly the same tests. So this one's probably just as quick as the Tamron, but a little tiny bit of shuffling around on each one rather than just locking in. It does a tiny did it to move back and forward, and you can feel it adjusting to get perfect final focus, but still quite fast, especially for 900 bucks. And lucky last, using the Nikon 24-70 on the D700. Same test again, very backlit. And it's comparable to the Canon, pretty much exactly the same performance. Nails it straight away without any hunting whatsoever. Okay, for the second focusing test, we're in a nice overcast area, and I'm just going to do a couple of pulling focus from her to the trees in the background to the people in the background and see how fast and responsive they are. So at 70 mil, got her, tree, got it, background, got it. This is all with the Tamron. It's a tiny bit slower than the other ones, but not slow. That's a good performance. Okay, now with the Canon 24-70L lens. That's nice. Yeah, and this one is noticeably faster. That's almost instantaneous, grabbing focus in each situation. Next up, straight after the Canon, is the Nikon 24-70. Let's see how it fares. Yeah, just as fast as the Canon. Each point, even going from almost infinity focus back to her, it just nails it almost instantly. That's too good to not actually get a proper shot. Lovely. And lastly, here is the Sigma. Again, same test. It's getting a little bit cold. Okay. Now it's doing the same thing where it has the little shuffle. I'm actually going to put the mic right on the lens so you can hear it, just to see what I'm talking about. So focusing on her. Did you hear that? Let's pop it right on the motor. Background, back to her. So you can hear it does have a little bit of shuffling around to get the perfect focus. Out of the four, I would say Canon and Nikon are on par at this stage, followed by the Tamron, then by the Sigma. Okay, first up on the Tamron lens on the 5D Mark II. Oh, still got its plastic on it. Let's officially deflower it. They won't be selling this one now. So from infinity focus, all of these are about 2 foot away from a dark tree. It's an overcast day, so this is a bit of a low light test as well. Now, of course, the autofocus capabilities depends a lot on the camera itself. That's why I'll be grouping them on the Canon and then the Nikon together. So here we go. Let's see how fast it is from infinity focus. Quite fast. There was a tiny little pause at the end. Let's give it one more try. Done. And then from close focus, again, it kind of goes most of the way and then a final little jump. Okay, really good results. Now let's have a look at the Canon to compare it. Okay, so same test with the 24-70L lens. Again, let's go from infinity. Where's infinity? It's reversed on this one. So from infinity, ready now. Again, tiny pause at the end, but that was fast. Again, 1, 2, 3. That was almost seamless. And now from close focus, that was without any hesitation. Yeah, very good. Slightly faster on the Canon for sure. Okay, now same test with the Nikon 24-70 ED on the D700 from Infinity Focus. Okay, it seems like it took a little second longer to get started than the Canon, but once it moves, there's no hesitation. Yep, and now from close focus, 1, 2, 3. Yep, seamless, not a pause at all. Definitely as fast as the Canon. I'll leave it up to you to determine if there's any difference between the two. Next up is the Sigma. Okay, the Sigma 24-70 from Infinity Focus. Okay, so it definitely moves slower, but that was quite smooth once it's moving. Okay, so yeah, slower but accurate. And now from close focus, very fast. That's pretty great performance from a lens that is so much cheaper than the rest of the pack. Okay guys, so that was an interesting test. I have to say that for my money, they all perform acceptably well, and to be honest, they perform in range with their pricing. The Sigma was the slowest of them all, and it did have a little bit of a shudder in the real world testing I did, rather than that last little precision testing I was doing where I had them set up on the Gorilla Pod. Then the Tamron was very good, but still noticeably for me slower than the Canon and Nikon. Now I was quite surprised that the 5D Mark II and the D700, using their own brand lenses, were pretty damn close to each other. People talk a lot about the 5D not having a very sophisticated focusing system, so to try and eliminate as much of those variations as possible, I just use the central focus point on each of them, and then, you know, trying that, which is generally the strongest of the camera. So then I'm really putting it down to the lens. Of course, it's still not 100% comparable. I'm not trying to suggest that it is, but you can compare horses for courses, the ones where I compared them on the same body. For my money, the Nikon and Canon are almost inseparable. They were both really, really nice to shoot with. The Tamron, it was a bit slower, but really, really not a problem. In terms of its autofocus capabilities, I'd be happy to use it in my everyday work. It was that good. It's 95% of the Canon and Nikon. The Sigma, maybe 85%. If you're doing happy snaps, this will be absolutely fine for you, but it is that little bit slower, and in the more challenging lighting situations, in those original tests and in the different testing I've done over the last couple of days, I have found it to be a little bit more hesitant when searching around for final focus. It gets close and then has a little before it nails the focus. Still, for $900 US, this one's selling for. Outstanding performance. It's just not at the league of the Tamron, Canon and Nikon. But there's still a few more tests to go, guys. So check out the playlist. Please click to subscribe, click to like if you have liked it, and I'll see you soon. This is Matt Granger, that Nikon guy. Until next time, get your gear out.